Hey guys, it's Sage and welcome back to the channel. So I've played a few hours of Tales of Kenzera ZAU and wanted to share my first impressions with you all. Before we get into it, I have to give a shout out to EA for the early access code and Surgent Studios for the opportunity to join in on the digital preview event. Tales of Kenzera ZAU will be released tomorrow, so be sure to click on the link down below to order your copy. I also will be releasing the first video to my playthrough tomorrow, so be sure to check it out. This is the debut title from Surgent Studios led by Abubakar Salim, and his personal experience with the grief of losing his father had an influence on the story of this game. Tales of Kenzera ZAU is a heartfelt Metroidvania-style, single-player adventure game exploring the themes of grief, spiritual healing, and emotional resilience. Although Tales of Kenzera ZAU is a story of grief, it is far from being gloomy but is wrapped in the rich, colorful world of Bantu mythology and African art and culture, and you have the option of changing the voice to either English or Swahili. I've always loved learning about different indigenous people and cultures, and I'm really excited that we have a game exploring this, and honestly, I would love more of that in the gaming industry in the future. Now, I personally have been anticipating this game since it was announced at the Game Awards, mainly because of Salim's vulnerable speech and how he chose to honor his father through the creation of this game. But with its striking visuals, vibrant colors, and compelling story, I was instantly drawn to this game and knew I had to play it. Now, my thoughts on the game is only based on Act 1 of the story, to avoid spoilers for any of you that are interested in playing this game for yourself. I do have to say that I've been absolutely enjoying this game so far, so if you're on the fence about whether or not you'd like to play this yourself, then hopefully this video can help you decide. You are looking at about 8 to 10 hours of gameplay for the casual gamer, and 12 to 15 hours for the completionist. First things first, let's talk about the story of Tales of Kenzera ZAU. You play as ZAU, a grieving shaman determined to bring his father back from the dead. Discovering how to best navigate a world after the devastating loss of his father, through his desperation, he calls upon Kulunga, the god of death. He makes a deal with Kulunga to find and free 3 great spirits trapped in Kenzera, and in exchange, Kulunga would bring his father back to the realm of the living. This is a poignant and deeply emotional voyage across the realm of Kenzera, one where you embark on a journey through the transformative power of love and loss. While playing this, I was reminded of another beautiful game called Greece, which is a platform adventure game by Nomada Studio that explores the different stages of grief. And just like Greece, Tales of Kenzera ZAU uses the rich landscapes, characters, and colors to portray the many emotions one goes through. I have always been captivated by emotionally driven storytelling that really explores the raw vulnerability of the human experience, so I was instantly drawn to this game. I was also interested in the journey of spiritual healing that our main protagonist goes through because that is something that I find relatable. My spiritual journey has been fundamental to my personal growth, and I've always been attracted to stories that really explore that as well. How a character is able to overcome their struggles and go through self-evolution. ZAU's journey through sorrow is manifested in the world of Kenzera and is sort of an interactive approach to healing. With a flourish of colors and the rich vibrancy of the landscape, there's a balance between mourning the loss and celebrating a life. More on the themes of balance later. As you explore Kenzera and you move between locations, you will notice how the biome and colors are used to represent different emotions. You may come across shards of crystal or thorny vines that could signify the hardening of one's heart as a sort of protection or anxiety. The flow of water to represent a sort of release of letting go and acceptance. As the colors change with each stage of your journey and you venture through the vast landscape of Kenzera, you are reminded that life is constantly changing, and so does your experiences and emotions. This also ties in with the characters and enemies you come across. They all represent different archetypes. In the menu, you are given a prompt of each newly discovered location, character, and enemy with a description that helps to paint a picture of the world you're exploring. Something I absolutely love about this game is just how charming these characters are, and with the very talented voice acting and attractive art depictions, the dialogue has been rather engaging.
What is funny?
Sorry, Amber Stone? Is that really the name?
One character in particular that you are introduced at the beginning is a girl named Liana. Her charisma and exuberant spirit was so freaking cute, and I couldn't help but smile whenever she was on screen.
Are you okay?
Me? Never better. But the way you took that rojo out was amazing! So brave! That spirit went rah! And you went back, bing, boom! With the masks and dancing and jumping!
We get to experience ZAU's fluctuating moods and how he's influenced by the world around him. ZAU has an unwavering determination, but at times is stubborn and impatient. However, that is balanced with the occasional display of vulnerability and uncertainty. We, as the player, get to observe ZAU's journey of introspection and reflection, which is refreshing to witness from a male protagonist. I also really appreciate the dynamic and dialogue between ZAU and Kalunga. I found it interesting that Kalunga sort of played the role of father figure to ZAU, as he guides him through his journey through Kenzera and helping him to be a worthy shaman, while also giving ZAU the freedom to figure things out on his own. However, Kalunga doesn't shy away from reprimanding ZAU and sharing wisdom on how he could better deal with his emotion. To me, it felt as though Kalunga was filling in that role after ZAU lost his father, and as I played more of the game, I enjoyed seeing their relationship progress. The characters you come across in the game really show you that you're not alone on your journey. The voice acting is amazing, and it really brought these characters to life.
I miss him, Ma. I miss him so much.
I know. I miss him too.
The combat in Tales of Kenzera ZAU is great. It's incredible. It's easy to grasp while still being challenging. You have your basic skills such as jump, double jump, dash, crouch, and heal. And with the masks, you also have your light and heavy attacks, and the ability to aim for long-ranged attacks. As a shaman, you wield the cosmic power of the sun and moon, and you're encouraged to find the balance between both masks, known as the Dance of the Shaman. Finding that balance between two energies, feminine and masculine, light and shadow, life and death. The Mask of the Moon helps with long-ranged attacks, while the Mask of the Sun helps with melee and focused attacks. And both of these have a separate skill tree. You also get special moves called spirit attacks at the beginning of the game that deal major damage and is great for crowd control when you're getting your butt kicked by a horde of enemies. As you traverse the world of Kenzera, you can find and equip trinkets that will help improve stats, as well as gain unique powers from your ancestors at a shaman shrine. These affect both combat and platforming. One such example we saw during the demo was that of Bamba Stone, which grants you the power to temporarily freeze water and freeze enemies during combat. Now, without giving too much away, you will have plenty of opportunities to prove yourself a worthy shaman and test your skills. And boy, did I struggle to do that. But I was fully determined, and Mama ain't raised a quitter, so you bet your butt I kept going until I succeeded. Anyway, I had plenty of funny moments with combat, and it honestly has been loads of fun. One thing I absolutely love that was incorporated into the game is the use of a map with a list of objectives to be completed. And if you guys didn't know, I'm the sort of gamer that truly enjoys exploring a world and map, and I love collectibles. I could spend so much time looking for things to collect and completing a map in terms of collectibles, so I utilize the map in this game quite a bit. Which brings me to an important point in this game. Sometimes you have to get lost in order to find yourself. It's easy to get carried away with exploration, but without the worry of really getting lost, because you always find your way back to where you started. And if you reach a blocked off path, you're forced to redirect and find another way to move past this barrier. This is an example of character growth as you look back on a past experience and consider what you've learned throughout your journey that can help you move forward and further progress in life. How were you able to overcome this obstacle? One cool detail I noticed while traversing is depending on which mask you wear, the way you move through the world is different. Just like the phrase "dance of the shaman," it does appear as though you're dancing through life, and each mask has its own style of moves. There's also plenty of environmental puzzles to keep things interesting and gives that feeling of being stuck, as with grief, when you're stuck within those chaotic emotions and wanting or needing a way to move forward. My favorite thing about this game for sure is the music, which is heavily influenced by the rich musical traditions of Africa. Oh my god, guys, the music is incredible. From the menu title to the opening sequence and the battle segments, the music really brings life to this game. I absolutely love the incorporation of traditional African instruments and choir. The symbiotic interaction between ethnic traditional sounds with Western orchestral sounds, again finding that balance. I'm a sucker for good music, and this game has a beautiful soundtrack. One of the major themes I took from this game was the importance of the human experience, to be willing to feel the whole spectrum of emotions, especially those heavier ones that are difficult to feel. These experiences and emotions are what makes us human, and it's such a beautiful thing in the grand scheme of life. When I faced off with the first great spirit in Act 1, it really showed me just how grand and expansive our emotions can be. Finding balance is another major theme in this game, as you are constantly switching between the sun and the moon masks, the dance of the shaman. I also found myself needing to implement patience while playing, as I often struggled with some of the enemies, and I noticed that the times when I waited to figure out the enemy's moves or calculated my attacks was when I succeeded. Also the times when I wanted to move forward but I didn't yet have the skills to do so and had to go a different route in order to come back again. I found that I needed to find patience in those moments as well. I think this easily correlates to having patience for yourself as you experience the many emotions associated with grief that can often be quite jarring and confusing. You know, it's unpredictable and chaotic, but understanding that the emotions that are coming up for you are needed to be released so that you can find peace and acceptance within. I am reminded of one of my absolute favorite games, Kena Bridge of Spirits, in which you play a spirit guide who helps to free spirits trapped in the physical world. These spirits are imprisoned by their trauma, and Kena guides their healing so that they may cross over to the spirit world. I find that there's so much to learn from this story, and you can find comfort in knowing that what ZAU is experiencing is something we all go through, and that you're not alone. It's okay to not be okay. Now, I did come across a glitch during my playthrough where, after unlocking an ability from the skill tree, it later reverted back as though I never unlocked it, which you will see a couple times in my videos. And occasionally ZAU will either freeze or be stuck in crouch, but it only lasts a couple of seconds. Hopefully we get an update soon to fix these, but besides that, I didn't really find any other problems while playing the game. All in all, Tales of Kenzera ZAU is a captivating story about finding yourself through a difficult phase in your life, and how trauma shapes a new version of yourself. I also have to note the passion the team of Surgent Studios have for this game, as I had the opportunity to listen to the team talk about their process in making this game during the digital preview event a couple of weeks ago. I could tell how much love was put into this game, so you guys are in for something special. Well guys, that is my review so far for Tales of Kenzera ZAU. If you are interested in grabbing your copy, the link will be down below, and the game will be released tomorrow, April 23rd. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I cannot wait to share my playthrough with you all, which will also be released tomorrow. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, guys!